Oh my gosh, you guys. You ever have one of those days where you really wonder about the lack of planning that sometimes goes into your own life? That was me today. My hands are very cold right now for something that you'll see probably in the end of the video because it's a preview for our next craft, which I think is going to be really cool looking, but it needs some time to set up. So I had to do that. And let me tell you, um, wet fingers when it's about 10 degrees outside, they don't go together well. So, how are you guys all doing? Did you have a good solstice? I mean, on a positive note, today is like a fraction of a minute longer than yesterday. And every day going forward, we will be just that little tiny hair longer because solstice, which is when I'm recording this, is the longest night. So it only gets brighter from here or something. Although I don't know about you guys, I always find that December is not nearly as bad as like February. February is just a very hard month. And it's a hard month for a whole lot of different reasons, but it's the month when I am always so over winter because it feels like winter has been going on forever by the time February rolls around. And then it doesn't get much better, at least up here, until April, probably. Some years are a little bit better than others. Some years we have a little bit more sunlight than others. It just depends on what the lake effect snow machine is doing. So, yeah. Christmas. Are you guys ready? Or Hanukkah, if that's what you're celebrating, or solstice, which would have been over already, or whatever you're celebrating. Are you guys ready? I'm not. As sad as that sounds, I'm not. I mean, I guess I'm as ready as I ever am, but I still need to buy the son who lives with me a present. Not only a Christmas present, but a birthday present because he had the poor grace to be born directly after Christmas. I was like, son, you were due at the end of November and you didn't come until the end of December. That was just rude. But, babies do what babies do. So yeah, I still have to get him a present. Didn't manage to get out this week due to a whole lot of silly circumstances. And yeah, I'm not going to rant about the post office again. Not going to do it. Already got that out of my system. But yeah, I've been having a lot more fun doing the whole Vlogmas thing. And you would think that that would make it so that I was more prepared for Christmas, but no, it's totally not. I did get to make good on a promise, and that will be in this video after I sit here and babble at you for a little while. And that is, I went out because I went to town today, finally, and I got the package that was supposed to be delivered to my house and wasn't. And I got water, got a little bit of grocery shopping done. I got my Christmas protein, which is always the same thing. I don't know why, but up here in the grocery stores, when Christmas comes around, they put out the little prime rib roasts. And I mean, they put out the big ones too. And that is always my big Christmas indulgence. Some people it's a turkey, some people it's a ham, some people it's Chinese food. And for the last 10 years, for me, it has been making a prime rib roast, and I make that, and I indulge in it, and I'm hoping that my teeth will be cooperative, but darn it, if I have to take them out and gum that prime rib to death, I'm gonna do it. No, it'll be fine. So we got that, which made me very happy. And then on the way home, the roads were good, The sun wasn't out, but I was like, the roads are good. Let's go to Kitch-iti-kipi, which is the Big Spring Palms Book State Park, which, funny enough, this, if you've ever listened to me read and said, why does she like mix up letters while she's reading something? Can't she look at the word and see that it's not spelled like that? It's a long-standing habit because my entire life, I think until about 3 years ago, I thought that the name of the state park that Kitch-iti-kipi is at was Palms Brook State Park, which made perfect sense to me because there are lots of little brooks and little streamlets all around it. But no, it's actually Palms Brook State Park. So I've been adding and subtracting letters from things my whole life. It's just a me thing. But yeah, I took you guys out there. We didn't stay very long because this kind of goes back to my whole a lack of planning on my part. It was about 10 or 11 degrees Fahrenheit when we got there. And although I did have gloves, I forgot my hat. And it's my favorite hat because it's the one that Lucy knitted for me. Forgot my hat. And my son was only wearing a hoodie because, I don't know, Northerners are weird. And even though I'm always complaining about the cold, I still managed to somehow underdress for it half the time. But we went out. There was a whole bunch of mallard ducks that were swimming around. Unfortunately, the raft was frozen to the dock, which I think is hilarious. Kitch-iti-kipi is the largest spring in the state of Michigan, and it's beautiful. It's about 45 or 50 feet deep, and you can actually see stuff on the bottom of it because the water's crystal clear. It usually, I don't know today because the raft was frozen to the dock, usually you can go out across the spring, and you do this by, they have this big steering wheel that just kind of pulls you across. It's people powered, and they have a viewport in the middle that people can just look down and see the springs bubbling up. It's just one of those things that makes me happy, and it's beautiful. It's even more beautiful in the winter. I wish there would have been a little bit more snow like on the trees, which is really funny because the spring isn't terribly far from where I live. It's not close, but it's also not far. But we got about 2.5 inches of snow yesterday. It was enough that I had to shovel this morning before we left. But over at Kitch-iti-kipi, I don't think they got any snow, and that just shows you the weirdness of lake effect snow. But I do have some clips of that I am going to put in after this, and then after that, I will come back and we will talk about tomorrow's craft and things that you might want to, or you might have laying around the house so that you can make it too. So I will see you after the clips. I see ducks. I like that duck. She's not letting anything interrupt nap time. Sleepy duck. I didn't either. Yeah, that one got a lot of zoom because she's sleepy. There's ice in the porthole.
No fishies.
Okay, wasn't that pretty? I love living where I do. I feel like probably one of the luckiest people on earth, even when it's 10 degrees out and my fingers are falling off because they're cold and I was dumb and didn't bring my hat. It still makes me happy, and it felt like a very nice thing to share with you guys. Kitch-iti-kipi in the Ojibwa Nation language, that's our indigenous tribe up here. I act like it's mine. No, that is the indigenous people of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And Kitch-iti-kipi in their language means mirror of heaven. And I can see why it got the name, because even on a cloudy day like it was today, it's just, it reflects so beautifully. It's such a beautiful place. And I've been going there literally since, well, I would say since birth. I think my parents took me there when I was about a month or two old, because my very first trip in my life was to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So if they didn't take me on my very first trip when I was still, you know, tiny, I was definitely there by the next year. So it's one of those things I love to go to. But on to tomorrow's project. So you're going to get a sneak peek of it because, like I said, I have to set it up today. And tomorrow we're going to be making two different kinds of luminaries. We're going to be making paper bag luminaries. And for that, you're just going to need paper bags, something to weigh the paper bag down with, votive candles, or battery-operated votive candles, whichever ones work. You can do it with either, but if you do it with flaming candles, be sure and do it outside. And then we're also going to be making ice luminaries. And for those, according to the instructions that I saw, and fingers crossed that it all works out, you need balloons and votive candles, and that's it. And we're going to fill up the balloons and put them out in the snow so that they can freeze tonight, so that they're ready for me to make candle votive, like luminaries, out of tomorrow. So I'm going to drop those clips in. Please excuse my sink. It's got a lot of rust stains because our water is rust. Our water is gross, which is why I don't drink it. But after those clips, thank you so much. Please do hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, and come back and see me tomorrow when we make some luminaries. But other than that, thank you so much, and I will see you then. Oh, please don't break, please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. I feel like it should be summer and I should be throwing these at somebody. But we're going to put half of them outside because I bet they'll freeze. It's like 8 degrees out. And the other half I'm going to put in my freezer. And this is for a project that should be ready to do tomorrow. So this is your sneak peek. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to lie, you guys. I probably should have done this in the daytime. And quite possibly should have put on my snow boots. But you know, I wouldn't be me if I was like always thinking ahead. So I'm going to put my little water balloons in the snow, hopefully where nothing is going to eat them. And tomorrow, I'll tell you what they're for. Hopefully, this will work. If it doesn't, I'm going to feel really dumb. Also, I would have felt even dumber if that would have melted or busted or whatever you call it. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow.